Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. I'm so excited that you decided to join me today. Today we are building university housing in The Sims 4 in the world of Britechester. This is available on the gallery if you'd like to download it under my origin ID, alisonlogue, or under hashtag alpalsgames. But it is a very long video, so I hope you're ready to buckle in with me because it is home, or it can be used in housing for up to 8 Sims, even more if you really had any mods or anything like that. Because I did put 2 double beds in here, so that'd be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, 10 Sims if you had mods and you wanted to add more Sims to your university housing. But I haven't built anything like this on the channel. I have once built for like some other gameplay, redone the houses on this lot, and that's also available in my gallery. Not the best, but a very different vibe than what I was going for in this one. In this one, I kind of wanted it to look like the university provided some stuff. It looks really nice, but they didn't provide everything. So like maybe they provided the beds, but everything else you have to kind of get together, or maybe they provided like stuff that doesn't all match and kind of things like that. But yeah, so we're just going to work on the floor plan now. The basic shape is pretty much together, and as you saw, I did add a basement, and I don't add basements very often to my builds, so that was kind of different. And there's no windows in the basement. I really, after I like had thought like, oh, maybe I should add some windows, I literally had already done the landscaping, so I couldn't add like any wells. So that's one thing that maybe you'll want to change, but in reality, it really didn't bother me too much, and the windows in this build kept glitching and removing my windows, probably because I was placing them with tulle, but it really bothered me, so they're not in the screenshots, and I did have to replace them like twice while I was building this. It was very, very annoying. But yeah, I don't know. I guess we're just doing the floor plan now. I really wanted it to feel closed off, like it was kind of built kind of when Britechester was built. And Britechester, if you're kind of new to The Sims, Britchester's based on like some of the northeastern England states kind of thing, like the New England states. I don't know. I'm from the Midwest. I'm not very familiar with this architecture. A lot of the things that I have around me are either really old or really new. There's no there's no in between really. And another thing I did with this build that I don't often do is add ivy, just because I think it doesn't place exactly how I want it to, I feel like. But it's in Britechester, right? We're on the Britechester University. So like we have to have ivy in our building. So I did do that. I also cut out a lot of the landscaping for like most of it. And I didn't even have that much landscaping because I figured that a university isn't going to be too worried about their landscaping on a student housing, like on campus, adult, I don't know whatever you want to say. They're not too worried about it, so like we're not going too detailed. Another thing I did use in this one, the herringbone flooring, which I absolutely love a lot, and I don't use it that often. And we're gonna sit here and struggle to watch me place this high school year's flooring, but after that, we're not gonna watch me do it again, I don't think, because I think I just go and I do it in all the other bathrooms, and it turns out looking really good. But that high school flooring is just such a pain to work with. I'm just like, oh my god, it's so tedious, and you just, it's no fun. I did create like a little party area. You saw that screenshot at the beginning of the video in the basement with like LED lights. I thought about putting some LED lights in some of the rooms, but I was like, they're like, one, very tedious to place. I'm very sorry if you just heard me hiccup. Very tedious to place, but also, I don't know. I feel like they're slowly going out of style, but maybe I'm just growing up. But I know in my dorm room in college, I had LED lights in, because I stayed in a dorm my freshman year, and then my sophomore year, I was kind of in a place like this. Not really. I kind of stayed like on a university apartment with like 3 of my friends. And so in that room, when I shared it with another one of my friends, we had LED lights in that room too. And I I really like having lights that aren't quote unquote the big lights. If you, if you know what I'm talking about, I just don't like overhead lights that much. But sometimes you just have to because of health, or not health, but like fire safety reasons and things like that. But in this living room that we're decorating right now, I put this bookcase, and I really, really like that bookcase, and I was able to use it because I used medium height walls on this first floor, and I don't want to say I never do, because literally the one I started building that's going to go up next Sunday has medium height walls on the floor, on the first floor too. That one is so out of my comfort zone. I'm like so nervous about it. I like did the floor plan, and now I'm like, I hate it. I need to move it to a bigger lot. But then I move it to a bigger lot, and I'm like, I don't want to make it bigger. So it's just a struggle right now. Another thing I hate about Discovery University, sorry, complete 180, is that we can't have a stove. I get not having a stove on in the dorms because like you don't want to like make it so like a penthouse, but like it is a penthouse kind of thing, right? But like in my apartment when I was on campus, we had a stove, and I would cook weekly meals for my roommates, and it's just like a fond memory. And like I can't do that, so I gave them a popcorn maker because I was like, that's kind of fun, kind of interesting. And then I gave them a microwave, a stove, and I left a counter clear. I can't remember if you can like cook, like if you can like chop up a salad or do anything that doesn't require a stove. I honestly can't remember. I did really like adding these like pub chairs in here. I really liked that. And there I was double checking that nothing I had was against what was needed, or against what was needed, I guess. I don't know. I think, and I get like not having a grill, but like also having a grill would kind of be nice. Oh, another thing I did add, I'm sorry, I'm jumping all over the place, and we're literally only like 7 minutes in. Very sorry. But I did add a little robot vacuum, just because I thought maybe that would be nice to kind of cut down. Maybe one of the more wealthy students or wealthy parents purchased it just to like help out, or maybe it was their old one and they got a new one. I know I just got a hand-me-down one for free, so I was like, And then I put this little fireplace in here. I imagined that like this used to be used as like a formal dining room, or maybe more of a formal living room, but they moved the living room over, and I just kind of made it like a study space. So they have like some bar height tables, a couple laptops around, and just like a little pencil holder cup thing. I also really like the swatch of this werewolf's rug that I sized up, and I love the little detail I put with like that chair in front of the fireplace. I thought it'd be really nice, considering Britechester is like kind of like more literary focused, for like a student to kind of grab a book for the bookcase and then like curl up in front of the fireplace. I just thought that was really cute, and I tried not to like leave a whole bunch of laptops laying around. And you saw that I tried to place that typewriter from the cottage living pack, but I was like, no, a student wouldn't just like leave this here on accident. The like 2 laptops I like left out was kind of, I was imagining were like students who like didn't care as much, or yeah, just kind of didn't care as much. But now we're doing the entryway. It's very simple. I have like a mail thing, a mirror, some shoes, that closet. I tried to include some woohoo locations because like obviously you're in Discovery University. It's like the peak time for like adolescents to be woohooing. So I have that closet. There's a lot of showers they can woohoo in. I think I put a woohoo bush outside. I'm not sure if you can woohoo in the werewolf one, but if you can't, you can totally replace that. You'll see me. I don't know if you will see me, but I did try to pull out the base game hot tub, but I was like, there's no way university's gonna let them keep a hot tub. You know what I'm saying? But now we're in the basement. We're kind of making that party space. I put up some wear and tear on the walls. I just thought that was kind of fun. And now you'll see me go, I'm putting up some posters first. I really like the idea that they like the people downstairs really aren't as much in it for the academics. And I totally cut out putting up the lights, but I put up the lights and I kind of dimmed the other lights and just putting this ping pong table askew, and we have a foosball table and an energy drink poster. There's just a lot going on down here, and I really, really, really kind of liked how it came out. And especially this, like, I don't know, with the keg, and then I end up adding some beanbag chairs and these neon signs. It came together really nice, and it kind of, like, reminded me of, like, I don't want to say my college experience because I'm still in college, but with student teaching, it kind of feels like I'm not in college, but then I remember that I still have to, like, find a job, and I'm like, oh, yeah, I'm still in college. But I don't know, a lot of the parties I went to were in, like, basements of, I don't know, like, upperclassmen's houses. So I guess that's just kind of, like, my idea of, like, where parties happen. I guess I don't really imagine them, like, upstairs or even, like, out in the lawn or outside but I am from the Midwest, so a lot of the parties I went to were usually in the colder months. So we had to be indoors, and yeah. And now I'm decorating this bathroom. It's for the sim that lives right next to this bathroom. I imagine that it was primarily her bathroom, or she's the one who decorated it at least. And she's going to be kind of like studying drama here at Britechester. And then the other two sims have a Jack and Jill bathroom. But now we're heading back upstairs, and we're doing, because I did all the other bathrooms, and I was like, oh, well, we'll just kind of work our way back down. Maybe. No, I think I actually do the art room before I do the other two. But this is kind of a research room because I wanted to have this research machine thing. I know you need it in Discovery University because I love playing through Discovery University. I love the gameplay and I love the challenge that it offers. So I like adding it into my builds when they're kind of going down that path. And I'm just kind of cluttering it up, kind of making it seem... I didn't playtest this build, so you might have to put an archway in here instead of a door, but I guess I probably should have playtested it. And I put these darts up here because I thought that's kind of like maybe a campus-approved thing, although it's probably dangerous if you're going to like walk out of that research and debate room and get hit with a flying dart. But now we're going to head on back to the main floor with this giant bedroom. So I had to make sure that two sims were sharing it. I'm pretty sure, yeah, this one is one of the only ones, and then there's a set of twins, I imagined, upstairs that we're sharing, but everyone else has their own room. But since this one's so big, I was like, duh. And these two sims, this one right now with the purple that I'm making the custom desk for, is she studying, or there, I guess I imagined it was just she who was bisexual, but their pronouns could be whatever you want them to be. But I imagined that they were studying art history, and so I gave them like a digital sketch pad and like a laptop to work on their writing skill, and then the painting easel, and I don't remember what the other one that they need is. Maybe I think it was charisma, so I made sure that I made sure that I gave them a mirror, and then I gave them some canvases I imagined they had painted, and then I gave them that little art tray that they share probably with the other student. Because I imagine the other student that lives over here was probably also a girl. And I imagine she was a lesbian. The reason I'm saying this is because I put up the pride flag, so you can't see it yet. But just in the works. But I imagined they, or she, was studying fine art. Yeah, fine art. And here I'm adding the flags. But it doesn't, not that it matters. You can obviously change them and edit this however you want if you download it, but this is just kind of the thought process that I was going with. But yeah, and the fine art is honestly violin disgusting. Anytime you're in The Sims, it feels like all of your roommates are playing violin, and it's like, for why? I also imagined that both these Sims were in the art group with Britechester, and so that's why I put that poster up. And with fine art, you need like violin, art, and photography. So that's why I gave her the San Martino shelf, and I'm just kind of cluttering up her desk. I imagine she had more of a PC than a laptop, just because I imagine she had to do like a lot of editing of her photos and like of her maybe digital art sketchbooks. But yeah, I was just kind of flipping around some rugs. I found a rug that I liked better over there, so I kind of flipped those, and then just adding some clutter. I really enjoyed this room. I enjoy making things for artists because they're just enough out of my comfort zone, but like still in it, because I really like matchy things, but kind of choosing different fonts, different colors, and just kind of, I don't know, being expressive and kind of going out, but still kind of keeping that modern touch. And now we're gonna head upstairs. This room with this double bed, I imagined was kind of for like the RA, or like I imagined that they were getting like their master's and they're going for like to get their lawyer like certification or something. And I imagined that they were getting paid, or kind of, yeah, like getting bribed to turn their heads about the parties that happen in the basement. Because I imagine like they're a master's student, so the university's like, you're in charge of like watching these students. But like the students that live downstairs, there's one who's an econ major and like probably plays for like one of the sports team, I imagine, came from like a lot of money and was like bribing him not to tell anyone. But I mean, this is just like what I was thinking of when I was decorating it. Obviously you can play with your own Sims and kind of edit it however you want, but that's just the storyline I had thought of and I was kind of going along with in my head. But you could also just make it a student be like really studious. Maybe he comes for money. But I did give him like but it doesn't mean you can save money even if you're rich. But I gave him like the receipts and pennies. So I imagine that he was like very budget conscious and kind of, I also gave him a motivational poster, which I thought was kind of cute. But now we're going to go over into this room where the twins are, I imagined. And these twins, I imagined, were both kind of evil. So the one with the black bread spread, I imagined that they were studying villainy, and they don't like tell anyone that he's studying villainy. I imagine that he's like, oh, I'm going to be an astronaut, because he's going to be like an interstellar space smuggler. And so that's kind of like the path I imagined that he was going down. And then the other sim I imagine is going to be a politician. And so, but not just like a politician because they want to see like change in the world, like a politician, like they want to do it to get rich. And so I like put like the penny one and like increased taxes. I kind of put those posters up. And then I made sure that they needed writing and, like, charisma, I think. And then the astronaut or the villainy, they need, like, fitness and, like, handiness and stuff. But I just gave them, like, a punching bag and a mirror for, like, the charisma and all the other stuff. And I made sure to give them a bowling ball. I just thought maybe they could use it as self-defense. But that was just me kind of being silly goofy. But we're just kind of decorating up above the desk. I imagine they kind of shared a desk, and I imagine that their parents kind of bought them a lot of the things. I mean, I imagine that like the dresser was like here, but like they had their mom get like the desk and the chairs and the beds. But now we're going downstairs. I'm just kind of putting the beds how I want them and kind of messing around with the layout. In this room, I imagine this sim was studying biology, and so I gave them like a weightlifting. They were kind of studying, like, if I was being honest, I imagine they were probably more of like an exercise science major, but we don't really have that in The Sims, so I imagine they were studying biology. Give them a vertical gardening bed and this desk, and I really tried to like make it seem like they were into fitness, but also kind of like enjoyed playing sports. And oh, another thing I did in the basement was I kind of put like wear and tear, because I imagine that this is like pretty old, and so that maybe the basement just kind of like needs repairs. Like they've went and they've kind of restored like the first floor pretty much, and maybe a little bit on the second floor, but like the basement still needs like a lot of like fixing upping. And I also kind of rotated the posters with tulle. I really enjoyed that. And I also put that like banner above the desk, and I imagine that was kind of not like a Saturdays for the boys, but kind of like a more celebratory flag. But we're just kind of cluttering up the desk. I imagined that that it's just kind of like a really small space, so maybe he doesn't really come for money and he's just trying to like make it the best he can. But this is the economic sim. He has like not really the biggest room, but like one of the bigger rooms, especially because it's like big enough to fit a double bed in. And I imagine he was studying like economics, and he's just gonna go like work on Wall Street with his dad one day, kind of thing. I also imagine that he was dating the drama student who like lives right next door. But I mean, all things, and I imagine that that sign wasn't really like a beer. Maybe it was a beer sign, but I kind of was imagining it was like a Saturdays are for the boys sign. But maybe I'm showing like my half millennial, half Gen Z side. But who knows? We're just kind of oh. Now we're heading over into the drama student. This is the last, and then we're gonna head outside. But I kind of like cluttered it up and imagined that it was like a drama, but also maybe gonna be a fashion designer or like was trying to become like famous. And I imagine that they didn't come from a lot of money. I imagine that maybe they don't have a laptop, but maybe they're getting like spoiled from their boyfriend who comes from a lot of money, and she's just kind of like, I don't know how comfortable I am with this. If you like buying me all this stuff, I don't want to feel like I'm in debt or things like that. But yeah, I imagine that like maybe she just had the rack, and then her boyfriend's like, you have more clothes than this, so I'm gonna buy you like this, and then I'll get you this new desk. And it's just, but yeah, I imagined that, I don't know, I imagine that they have a pretty healthy relationship. I don't think that there's anything bad going on between them, I guess. But yeah, this is pretty much it. We're just going to end up going outside. We put a little fireplace down. Oh, I get a dumpster. That's another woohoo location. There I tried to use the base game hot tub, but I was like, no. I have a basketball hoop out here. I have the card table from the little camper's kit. I put a bike out front. I have a little seating area, and I end up putting a telescope over by the woohoo, or the pea bush at least. But that's pretty much all for me. I'm really glad that, especially if you're still around now, because I know I usually come in and out of videos, but I definitely, sometimes I don't stay around for the whole thing. But I'm really glad that you decided to stay and watch the whole video. Thank you so much. It does mean a lot. And if you are sticking around this long, you should definitely give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. It really, really means a lot to me. It really helps encourage me, and with the new pack coming out, you'll definitely be able to see more stuff from me. So, thank you all so much for watching. I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I'll talk to you later. Bye!